It was slow early on.
You got the number one receiver upset about targets.
You can't just keep slapping the Band-Aid over that.
The effort looked sluggish.
He's working hard, and it'll be a big part of the game plan going forward.
They have the best record in the conference, and they haven't come close to playing their best football.
You have to trust within the unit that this is what we're going to do.
They run a very simple offense. They don't do a ton.
Yeah, they gonna get it done.
They adapted, we have to adapt.
That should be what you want out of a leader. Is that not the case?
We look at him and say, you can be so much more.
I'm close to being done answering these questions with this.
I feel you, Nick Sirianni. You might be done, but we're not done, unfortunately, here on First Take. Good morning, everyone. I'm Shae Cornette, Ryan Clark, Dan Orlovsky. Stephen A. Smith is with us here as well. Is he enjoying the sunshine down in Miami for a little bit? Good morning, Stephen A. How are you?
Good morning. How y'all doing? How's everything?
We're good. We're good. Let's get right to it. Yesterday, a video went viral of A.J. Brown playing.
Are you interrupting?
Go ahead.
We're going to keep going.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
playing a video game on a live stream, saying his family is good, but everything else is, I'm just going to say, not so great. Okay? Went on to say, if you have me in fantasy, get rid of me. For context, Brown had just 2 receptions for 13 yards, and the Eagles lost to the Packers on Monday night. And so here was A.J. Brown responding to all that we watched just yesterday.
In that moment where I'm just talking to my friend, having fun with my friend, I'm not apologizing for that. Like I said, because if you have eyes, you can see that. And so, it's not that I was throwing anybody on the bus. I'm literally trying to laugh through this. It's tough. But I'm trying to make fun of the situation and to try to get through it. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. It's not about we're not winning or I don't care about winning. All I care about is stats. No. It's been week after week sometimes. We're not contributing. We're not doing our job on offense. So you can't just keep slapping the Band-Aid over that. And if you expect to win late in the year and you think you're going to go to it at the end of the year, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And last year, what it was, thank you for the ring, but it's a new season. They adapted. We have to adapt, and we have to continue to, get better and try to find new ways.
All right, so you hear what he's saying. Again, A.J. Brown, not the best game Monday night, and an Eagles win over the Packers, only 2 catches for 13 yards. But now after hearing his explanation, how he's trying to keep it loose and how he feels, do you feel better or worse about A.J. Brown's comments?
This is the best I've ever felt about A.J. Brown's comments. This is the most real A.J. Brown has gotten. It's frustration. And he's saying it. If this is what we do, if we go out on the field and only produce 10 points, if I only get 3 targets, have 2 catches, 13 yards, we can't win a Super Bowl like that. And as a leader, he said it real. When you win the Super Bowl, it's now a new year. Teams have adjusted to you, and we have to adjust. This is also the A.J. Brown that a woman walks up to in an interview and says, "You saved my life." Some of the things you said about opening up about mental health were things that helped me through life. And he's saying, this has been difficult for me. And everybody's on the outside all the time, and you're football players, and you're paid all this money, and you should be happy. Just go along. The team's winning. No, it's a job where individually you want to do well. Individually you want to contribute. And for A.J. Brown, in all the things that he's said, in all the tweets that he's tweeted or whatever it is, this is the best I've at least felt about what he feels about the situation, even if I don't feel great about what I'm seeing on film.
Now, I totally agree. Winning's a liar, especially in football. Yep. There's this saying, winning cures all. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It covers everything unless you are honest about it. And my whole thing with A.J. and this comment, this specific thing, is imagine if Jalen Hurts had said it. Everyone would treat it very differently. Everyone would look at it differently. They wouldn't be killing Jalen over it. They'd be like, this is why we love Jalen Hurts, because he holds everybody accountable, and he's honest about where the team is, and bars, and this is another one-liner from Jalen Hurts. But A.J. says it, and because A.J. plays wide receiver, and he's outspoken on social media or cryptic on social media, people are making into this negative knock on the football team. The thing that A.J.'s doing is the worst thing that Philly could do offensively is lie about it and pretend that it's good enough right now. I remember last year talking about the Steelers' offense and saying it's not going to be good enough in the playoffs to beat the good teams. Philly's offense right now is not going to be good enough to beat the Rams. It's not going to be good enough to beat the Seattle Seahawks. It's not going to be good enough to beat the Detroit Lions. It could win in November and October, but it ain't going to be good enough when it's win or go home. I promise you that. And so AJ's just saying out loud what the reality is. And I love, and I totally agree, I love the fact that he said it because now everybody's accountable. The second part is this. AJ's getting the ball thrown to him the same amount this year as he did last year. When it comes to percentage, they're just on the field way less because all the 3 and outs. And the last part is this. Devontae Smith's become a top 10 receiver.
Yep.
Devontae and Jalen Hurts are a top 5 quarterback and wide receiver duo. And I understand the frustration because if I was A.J. Brown, I would want to be the receiver on the other side of that.
Stephen A.?
Well, since we're talking about people that's all up in their feelings, the first order of business is for me to be all up in my feelings. I mean, damn, I'm looking forward to a Thursday morning, and my man RC and Dio didn't even say hello. Didn't even say, what's up, Stephen A. I mean, it's good to see you. I mean, damn, nothing to say good morning, how you doing, and all of that. I mean, where's the love? I mean,
Can we talk?
Can we be
what's up, y'all?
Hey, can I be honest?
Can we be A.J. Brown here?
It's because you ain't sit down till the show started.
Thank you.
I didn't get to see you.
Thank you.
I didn't even get to say good morning,
Shae's
dog.
starting the show. You're putting your microphone
like you
on,
weren't even there when the show. We couldn't even get a cold open. Holla at your boy, because your boy wasn't there yet.
You also look like a Grammy right now with all gold on.
Like, what are you doing?
Y'all got me. I'm gonna get y'all back. I'm gonna get y'all back. I'm gonna get y'all back. Listen, y'all. I'm gonna simplify this whole AJ Brown because I totally co-sign. All 3 of us are on the same page with this. I know it's a debate show, but we agree with this because he's taken a lot of unnecessary heat, and I think it's wrong. He said nothing wrong. He was absolutely right not to apologize for it. I got a lot of love for AJ Brown and his position on this matter. Here's all anybody needs to know to truly, truly encapsulate what this situation is all about. If A.J. Brown was doing the reverse and didn't give a damn because he won the Super Bowl last year, well, because that's not the kind of attitude you want somebody to have. You a champion, okay, now go ahead and defend that bad boy. Do everything that you can to do what you got to do. Last year, they were connecting Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. They were connected at a 62% rate. This year's at about 48%. You're looking at it, of course, you're right about the 3 and outs, Dio, no doubt about that. But combine that with the lack of success when he is targeted compared to what success that he was enjoying last year. And what he's saying is this stuff is unacceptable. We can talk about Devontae Smith all we want to and how he's become a top 10 receiver, which is absolutely true. Here's the flip side to that. Devontae Smith was complaining earlier this year. We had heard from him at one point about what they needed to do offensively. So A.J. Brown isn't standing alone in his, lamenting the state of affairs with the Philadelphia Eagles offense. And what did I say just the other day when we were talking about the Philadelphia Eagles? What I said was, you're looking at Detroit, you're looking at Seattle, you're looking at Los Angeles, you're looking at Tampa Bay, you're looking at these other Green Bay, obviously, you're looking at these other cats, and they're coming. What we gonna do about it? Because what we did last year is not what we're doing this year. What we're doing this year is not going to work if we truly, truly are aiming to defend our crown. He has every right to point that out. He ain't some bench warmer that ain't playing at all, that's not making any kind of contribution. He won the game for you against the Los Angeles Rams. He is considered a stud receiver in this league. He's making over $32 million a year. Clearly, you've invested in him because you believe in him, and he's got the experience, the credentials, the cachet to say what the hell it is that he is saying, and he ain't lying. Because when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles right now, you can't continue to look like this offensively and think that that is the team that's going to come out of the NFC. A.J. Brown is absolutely right. I got no problems with him.
So A.J. Brown right now, 408 receiving yards in 8 games. It's his fewest in 8 games since 2019. Okay, he's got a point, and I agree with you. I think after hearing his explanation, we all were like, okay, that's completely validated. I want to go back to something you said, though. Like, he's not lying, right? We can't lie about this. But does it feel like maybe Nick Sirianni is trying to cover up for some of the deficiencies on offense?
No, I think the reality is Sirianni is a very risk-averse head coach. He believes in the old school principles of football, which are the fundamentals and the basics and turnover differential. And I'm not saying that's the proper way to look at football. But he's not this guy that wants to be this high-flying offense, chuck and duck, Mike McDaniel, stats galore. And so Nick Sirianni, philosophically, is that way. Now Jalen is a very risk-averse quarterback. And so I think the reality is they were this way last year. It's just that they were ridiculously dominant. It wasn't like this team last year was this X's and O juggernaut. They were a very simplified scheme that just my guy better than your guy. We would beat you up at the line of scrimmage. I think the thing that gets lost in all of this is because people say, and I see it all over social media is, what does Nick Sirianni actually do? This. Like, this is where Sirianni's bread and butter is made. This is where the management of all this, the personality, the strong opinion, the way that they defer to a quarterback that does not blink. And so it's not this unique X's and O's situation. It's Sirianni just doing everything he can to manage it. It's also why 3 or 4 weeks ago, I said on this show, A.J. Brown wants to get traded. That's my takeaway. And everyone's like, you're out of your mind. Does anyone disagree with that right now? Do you think A.J.'s clamoring to stay in Philly, or do you think he, to his core, wants to go to a quarterback or an offense that's going to throw it all around the lot so he can get his stats back? I don't think Philly wins the Super Bowl without A.J. this year, so that's why keeping him was the right decision. But yeah, it's the challenge for the head coach and the quarterback to manage all this.
Stephen A., go ahead.
What's the challenge for the quarterback and the wide receiver? You know, it's the challenge for the quarterback and the head coach to manage all of that, and I get that part. And obviously, the trading deadline has expired, so he knows he's not going anywhere. So why speak up now? Listen to what he said. He said, this has been going on. This ain't going to cut it. We got to do something. Because right now, it's fair to look at him, and rather than lament, oh, you know what, he's griping about not getting enough touches, it's fair to look at him and take him at his word when he's saying, this ain't going to get it done, y'all. This ain't going to win the chip. We here. Trading deadline's expired. I'm not going anywhere. We got the playoffs coming up. This stuff is not going to work. We are not going to defend our crown playing offense like this. That's what he's saying. He's earned the right for us to look at that element of it and say, is he telling the truth? And the answer is yes.
Well, but that's the beauty of this actual statement. It's not cryptic. It's not passive aggressive. And it's not all about me. It is about the team. And you asked the question about Nick Sirianni. This is exactly what Nick Sirianni did last year. Let's not forget, before the bye last year, this team and head coach were booed off of the field. Nick Sirianni is beefing with people in the front row of the stadium after he wins football games, right? Like, that's where this team was. This wasn't a team that we gave this level of grace last year because they weren't the reigning defending Super Bowl champions. We were dealing with this, and they fixed it. That's what Nick Sirianni does. That's what Nick Sirianni didn't get. You can say whatever you want about Jalen Hurts. Sure. You could say that if Jalen Hurts would have said this, they'd have said bars. One, he would have said it differently, right? That would have been the first thing. It would have sounded differently.
Sure.
I tell my wife all the time, it ain't really about what you tell me, it's about how you tell me.
say it. Yep.
You say that to her, she says that to you.
I be chilling.
Yeah, you're right. She says it to you.
I don't want no beef, dog. I be chilling.
That's right. Very wise. Very wise. Very wise.
And so now we're at this point where your quarterback is not just risk averse. Your quarterback is whatever helps us win. Yeah. He's the one quarterback that when he says it, I totally believe it. Yeah. So that's not going to be, I got to force you the ball 15 times. There's a reason that Jamar Chase and T. Higgins get the opportunities they get because that's how they have to win the football game. The Eagles don't have to do that. And so now you have to figure out a way that if A.J. Brown is correct, playing football like this will not win us a championship. What's that adjustment? Because this is the first time that's been the question, and not just give me my touches because I feel like I want to get my individual stats.
Okay, well, they have a tough test, obviously, this weekend as they will play the Lions, so we'll see how this all pans out. Let's go to the team now, though, that the Eagles beat on Monday Night Football, and that would be the Packers, because their offense completely lackluster as well. In fact, they have scored only 20 points in their last 2 games. Both have been losses. In their 3 losses this season, the Packers offense totaled only 30 points combined. Head coach Matt LaFleur is the play caller in Green Bay, and he says despite the offensive struggles, he wants to stay in Jordan Love's ear. Listen to this.
You have to look inward, and like I told the team today, I don't care if we win 3-0 or 49-48. Bottom line is we have to find a way to get it done. Otherwise, you get criticized, and that's just the way it is. So I think that especially as the play caller, you're trying to put people in the best position possible to go out there and have success. And when we're not having collective success, then you're constantly, you have to challenge yourself to do better, to find something else in order to go out there and move the ball and score points.
So here we are now talking about another offense that seems to be struggling, but it feels like very different from the Philadelphia Eagles for whatever reason. Do the Packers' offensive struggles concern you, Dan?
Not really. They got a really good coach and a really good quarterback. And honestly, I've been appalled by the way that we have talked about this.
Don't say we.
As I'm saying, we as a whole, as a network, as a people. I'm being honest.
As a people.
Yes. Yeah. We have been outrageous with the way that we have talked about Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. The theme of, well, this quarterback's crazy, reckless with the football, and Jordan Love's just a turnover machine. It's not true.
I agree.
It's not even an opinion you can justify, because there's no way to accurately, with evidence, say that that's true. In the last 2 seasons, the only guys who have been better with the ball, give it to the other team, are like Jalen Hurts, who's historical right now, Mahomes, Stafford, Herbert. This guy's not the turnover machine that people who are uneducated have said he is. I would actually argue right now he's the opposite. He's playing too cautious. He's playing too scared. This is why I hate when people say, protect the football at quarterback. You pay people like me to protect the football. I'm not paying Jordan Love $55 million to protect it. I want you to value it, no question. Go be great. And then Matt LaFleur, up until 2 weeks ago, this offense was top 5 when it comes to points per drive. It was top 5 when it came to efficiency. And so all of a sudden, with 2 bad games, we're concerned about, we're talking about firing Matt LaFleur?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Green Bay, you fire Matt LaFleur, he'll be out of a job for 6 seconds. He's a great coach, one of the best run game coaches in the NFL. Jordan Love, we're talking about he's bad at football. He's holding back the Packers. Get out of here. He's no question a top 10 quarterback. No question. Right. This offensive line hasn't been good enough, so yes, that gives me concern. And they're not healthy necessarily. But the way we've talked about the coach and quarterback is absolutely outrageous. It's disgusting, Ken.
You know, on many, many occasions, I sit here and unlike a lot of commentators who haven't played, I never hesitate to defer to those who have. I know my place. I'm brilliant because I know I'm not. I learn from those who are, and I move forward. Football is your lane. Dan Orlovsky, you are talking as a brilliant football mind, and I have no doubt RC is going to do the same. I am talking to you as a journalist and as a pundit. I get where you're coming from. You have a guy in Ed Policy who is now running the Green Bay Packers. Clearly, we're not certain that he feels that way about Matt LaFleur. He's giving him no contract extension.
Yeah.
He's giving Gutekunst no contract extension. And then we go and we look at Matt LaFleur. And in 3 seasons with Aaron Rodgers before, Jordan Love took over, a 39-10 record, best in the National Football League, 3 playoff berths, 2 trips to the NFC title game. Jordan Love comes in, begins starting in 2023. The record is 33-26-1, 12th best record in the National Football League, 2 playoff berths, 1 victory. What you're saying is that if you are a fan of the Green Bay Packers, not an NFL aficionado like Ryan and Dio, and you're looking at the squad, you're looking at a Kraft who's out now, but prior to that was your number 1 target and ascending as one of the best tight ends, already one of the best tight ends in football. You look at a Christian Watson who just got back a couple of weeks ago and what he could do. You look at some of the pieces that you have in place along with a quality quarterback like a Jordan Love who's shown you how capable he is. And you're saying, but you can't seem to get over the hump. You can't seem to win these big games. You can't seem to step up when it's time. And then you're looking at a guy like Matt LaFleur, who we know can coach, who we know is not somebody oblivious to doing the job. We know he's done a good job, and we know he's a hell of a coach. But nevertheless, hasn't gotten over that hump. Not only is he the head coach, he's also the offensive play caller. Yeah. And then you look and you go out and you get a Micah Parsons. And you got Gary and the rest of the crew, and your defense is legit. And they're the one team in the league with a 1-3 record when they're giving up 16 points or less, when the rest of the league is like 65, 62-5, or whatever the number is. I'm saying people are going to take increments, they're going to take elements, and they're going to deduce what they deduce. You might disagree, and you might be right. But it doesn't make them wrong for asking those questions and being cynical of the bottom line results that they're seeing, particularly when it appears to be buffered by an executive running the franchise who could easily give him a contract extension along with the GM Gutekunst and has refused to do so. You can't ignore that, Dan. That's the point.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about ignoring it, but also, too, if Matt LaFleur is on the hot seat, then every coach in the AFC North should be talking about losing their job. There should be, we should come on here, if we got to talk about Matt LaFleur losing his job, if we got to talk about Jordan Love not being a good quarterback, then 3/4 of the league, that should be our conversation. We should never come on here and talk with any nuance. We should never come on here and speak with any context. We should never actually even just turn on the film and ask ourselves, why is this happening? If that's all we got to do. If all we got to do is take 2 weeks and be like, man, against Carolina, your defense only gave up 16 points and you didn't win. Can't do that. Against the Philadelphia Eagles, your defense only gave up 10 points and you can't do that. If that's all we have to do with this job, please tell me so I can stop staying up late and waking up early and watching all this crap. Because when you watch the film, you look at Jordan Love and you say, you know what? There are 22 to 25 teams that would love to have that quarterback. And when you watch the offense, the creativity of the run game, trying to figure out how we're going to fill Tucker Kraft's spot, playing without Christian Watson this entire season, also now working without Matthew Golden after losing your best pass catcher and your tight end, and trying to figure out how to work that and seeing the ways he's creatively creating opportunities for their quarterback, for their running back in the run game, you say, you know what? This dude can flat out coach. Yeah. And now, if we're going to get to the point where it's like, you know what? You've been here long enough, and in being here long enough, you haven't won a Super Bowl, so we rather risk being terrible than keep you and move forward, then fine. The Green Bay Packers, I'm concerned about the offense. I believe the offense can be fixed. My concern is this. When I look at the Green Bay Packers, I don't think to myself, are you good enough? I think, are you good enough right now the way you're playing to beat the Rams, to beat the Seahawks? And that's where they have to improve.
I am accusing you on national television of being unfair. Because if it's just the fans that's doing that, RC, I got you. If it's us who don't know football like you do, don't cover football like you do, didn't play the game like you do, you're right. What I'm saying is I brought up the name Ed Policy. I brought up the man running the Packers. The fans are sitting there saying, what's up? Because you have reporters walking up to him. What's the status of LaFleur? Contracts coming up. Is he going to be re-signed? Are we looking at a long-term extension? The man refused to commit. It's not being made up out of thin air. And football people are expressing that level of reticence. I'm not saying y'all are wrong with how you dissected Jordan Love and his abilities along with Matt LaFleur and his coaching ability. I'm saying the organization, you would think based on what you just said, man, we got to get this man signed to a long-term deal. He's one of the best coaches in the National Football League. We got to make sure we lock him in. Gutekunst has done a good job as a GM. We got to make sure we lock him in. That's not what they're doing. Why not? I don't know the answer. I'm just asking a relatively rhetorical question, making the case that it provides fodder for those that might be cynical about a LaFleur or a Love because your own organization hasn't committed to them yet. Based on what you two are saying, they damn sure should.
No question they should.
So they can't be wrong.
They've already committed to Jordan, and I don't know when Ed Policy took over the president role of the Packers, and I don't know if there's a timing of how to go about things. That's not necessarily my expertise.
You should. You cover the sport. You know the sport.
No, I cover football. No.
You do more than just cover X's and O's. You know the game. You know the game, and you know people in the game. And you have conversations all the time. Don't play that with me.
Taking over roles.
Don't play that with me. Stop it.
Contracts become the necessary step. The Packers historically don't do with volleyball.
So Dan Orlovsky never had the discussion. So Dan Orlovsky is just talking about routes.
I like talking about
He's just talking about routes and schemes. He don't know executives and personnel. They don't talk to you. I know. Listen, we see him on the pivot all the damn time. RC got. I'm fine. But you annoying me right now. RC talking to everybody, giving motivational speeches on the pivot. Got everybody in the NFL coming on his show. Don't tell me he doesn't know. I know you know. You trying to tell me just schematically that's all you talk about. You don't have information.
That's all I want to talk about.
Matt LaFleur hasn't
that's all I want to talk. Here's my thing. No, that's all I want to talk about. Yes, that's all I want to talk about. Here's my thing, Stephen A. We are 18 days 18 days from being on this show and going, man, Jordan Love had 20 straight completions.
Yep.
Could he win the MVP?
Against the Steelers.
I don't care if it's against Shelton High School.
It's against the
20
Steelers.
straight completions.
Don't get me started.
Okay.
20 say,
I know they terrible.
And that's why, we were good. But that's why this week's been ridiculous. It's been ridiculous, and we have to stop doing that. Just because it sounds cool, we got to stop riding these waves of this quarterback's great, this team won, this quarterback's great, this team lost, this quarterback stinks, this team won, coach must be great, this team lost, coach must stink.
Congratulations, Dan.
Loser
You're
way
one
to
of
go
a
about
kind.
it.
You're one of a kind. You're the only person that I know that got fans out there, you wanting them to watch you talk football, but you asking them not to be fans. Congratulations.
No,
good luck with pulling that off. Good luck with pulling that off. Ain't nobody gonna listen to that.
Don't put words
they
into my
feel
mouth.
what they
I never
wanna
said
feel. They gonna
that.
question what they want to question.
I never said that.
Dan and Ryan. I don't think anyone's arguing that the Packers aren't a good football team. LaFleur's not a good coach, and Jordan Love's not a good quarterback. The fact of the matter is, they have the two worst losses in the National Football League. If this team goes out and lays an egg against the Giants this weekend, we're all going to sit back and say, are they an elite football team?
Shae, I'm with you. They're also 2 snaps away from having one loss. Legit.
Sure.
No, Shae, what you're saying, is extremely fair, right? If you look at someone's resume and that resume reads tie, Dallas Cowboys, lost to Browns, right? Lost to Browns, lost to the Carolina Panthers, lost to the New York Giants. That's a different conversation, right?
So his point, we're 4 days away from that potentially.
The only thing missing is the loss to the Giants.
Right, but
everything else you said already happened.
That conversation will not be about whether or not the quarterback and the head coach are good at their jobs. That conversation will be about what is wrong with this team and how can they fix it in order to compete in the NFC playoffs. That's the conversation we will be having.
Correct.
That's a fair conversation.
Okay, fair enough. We'll see what we talk about on Monday.